What's up? Um, beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning here in the foothills, like mid 40s, and brewing a batch of beer today. So, not going to be an in-depth video. It kind of gets redundant. Everything same old, same old. But I've already got into the process pretty hot and heavy. Got everything cleaned up this morning, straightened out, and got my strike water up, and got my dough in, and probably gonna go a little longer than 60 minutes on this one. So went out to Four Brothers and got some awesome Four Brothers coffee, because I gotta have my morning coffee. And I got me a good old sandwich, egg sandwich with lots of JFG mayonnaise, which is the only way to eat any kind of sandwich. But we'll talk about a few things here and there. Not really a whole lot, just what I'm doing, what I got going on, and we'll see how it goes. Probably the next thing I'll do that I'll show on video here is something I'm gonna do different with this batch that I've not done. Is all the other batches I've put them in the I've done my dough in and let just let it sit for the hour, 60 minutes, and not touched it. I think I'm going to stir about every 20-30 minutes, or I guess that would be a couple of times, but I'm going to stir it up a couple of times through the process on this batch just to see if I get a little better conversion. I've never had a problem hitting my strike temperatures. That's always went well. So I've got to work on my conversion and my boil volume. So I'm going to go with the last batch and go a little bit higher and hope I hit it right this time. But anyway, just get everything set up. And like I say, it's a beautiful morning here. Thought Bentley might be around here, but anyway, get back with you in a minute. Alright, check this beautiful sight here. I'm going to stir this grain bed just a little bit. Make sure I get all those starches converted to sugar. Maybe, like I say, help me out with my efficiency a little bit. Man, that smells so good. I wish I could just crawl in there and like eat my way out. Love the smell of grain. Love it. Take a little quick temperature check. This this recipe I'm doing, it's actually this recipe I didn't tell you what it is. It's the New Zealand IPA. That if you see my last video, it's what Still Jan did. She turned me on to the recipe. I called up Tony at Austin Homebrew Supply, and he gave me the, got the ingredients together for me and everything. And I'm sorry, I'm watching my temperature here. I was wanting to mash in. It started out around 145, and I added just a little tad bit of water to get it down, and right now it's at 140. I want this beer to be a little right there. It's 142. I noticed my mash tuns got different temperatures all over. 140 to 145 is what I'm looking for. Right here's 141, 140.7. And I want a little drier. There's a 143, 144. See how crazy that is? 140, 145 is fine though, but I don't know why I take it all over the place. Just curious, I guess. But anyway, get the old blanket back over, because it is a little chilly out here this morning down in the basement, and it's like, sorry, I probably got that all up in my face. Like I say, it's in the mid to upper 40s, probably in the upper 40s by now. But anyway, 11 pounds of 2-row, half a pound of Munich, half a pound of Crystal 60, and a quarter pound of Crystal 20, and a quarter pound of Crystal 120. And the hops are Nugget, Riwaka, Nelson Sauvon, and there's one of them that they didn't have in. I think the Nugget is a substitute for the Green Bullet that Still Jan used. And then it's dry hopped with, if I can see it on my paper, Citra and Glacier. So there you go. It's gonna be, I hope it turns out half as good as Still Jan's did. But anyway, like I say, this probably won't be a big in-depth video about anything in particular, but unless something comes to mind. But there you go, stirring the mash. Wasn't that exciting? Chilling like a villain. just got the 60-minute boil going. So I ended up after my first runnings, and done 2 batch sparges with 7 gallons. I actually added a half a gallon, and I knew I would have to, but I don't know why I didn't go ahead and do it in my batch sparge. But that's the way it worked out. So I've got 7 gallons, and I've got a little sample in there cooling down that I took after stirred everything up and before I started the boil to get me a pre-gravity reading. See how that turns out this time. Last time I was off. So, and if you remember last time, I started out with gosh, 6 gallons, I think it was, and I boiled off 2 gallons, ended up with 4 gallons, and had to add a gallon, and I think that's what threw my efficiency off. But this time, like I said, I started out with 7. If I boil off 2, I'm going to try to ease back on the boil, not have such a hard rolling boil, because last time I had it really cranked up, and I do have the windshield. It's not windy today, but it's a little breezy picked up, but you can see my little windshield going on, and I'll just go ahead and show you. Got my big old 5-gallon paint strainer. Probably can't see it too well, but got a nice rolling boil going. And one thing I'm gonna do different this time is my wort chiller. My immersion chiller. I have it sanitizing in a big 6.5-gallon bucket in there, because I'm not going to do the 15-minute boil. It gets in the way with that bag in there and trying to stir everything and all that. I'm just going to sanitize it, and when it comes time to cool things down, our water here is like 65 degrees, and I've never had a problem with getting my temps down after boil, so that won't be a problem at all. But I'm not going to do the 15-minute boil on the immersion chiller. I'm just going to sanitize it real well and then stick her in there when she's done to have a little more room to deal with the hops, because this has a 60-minute hop addition, 1 ounce, and then it doesn't have any 30-minute hop additions. It has 2 different hops at 15 minutes, and those same 2 hops at 5 minutes. And actually, I forgot to mention this too. I did make a yeast starter, and I made it yesterday midday, so I know you're supposed to make it 2 or 3 days ahead of time, and I just didn't. So this is my first yeast starter, actually, from using American L2, the 1272 Y yeast. So that's going, and I'll be using that for my yeast. So anyway, I don't think there's nothing else really to talk about. I may jump on here again and tell you what my readings were, and well, I guess I will, because I'm excited about trying to get my volumes right. So I'll update you in a little bit, and I'm going to sit here and chill out a little bit before I have to start cleaning up, which is the sucky part of this later. Well, the brew day is done, other than going in there and shaking the snot out of a 6-gallon carboy, which is how I do my aeration, and pitching my yeast. The efficiency was off again. I got my boil volumes right this time, though, so I've got that part, I believe, figured out. I ended up with just a tad over 5 gallons, which is, I was shooting for 5 1/4. So I believe I just had too much of a hard rolling boil. So I backed down on that a little bit, and that made a difference. My gravity readings, my starting gravity is supposed to be in 1.0. Walking here so I can not guess. My original gravity is supposed to be in like 1.049, and I got 1.04 up. And my gravity, right when it went in the fermenter was 1.052, and it's supposed to be in 1.065. So just about a point off, just maybe a tad over a point. And that's better than it was last time, because it was a little over a 1.5 last time. So if I can figure out my efficiency, and this was a 90-minute mash. I didn't do the step mash like Steel Jan did. I just done it all one temperature, and double batch sparge, and stirred it a few times during the 90 minutes, and batch sparge both times for 10 minutes and stirred good. So if you got any suggestions, lay it on me. It may be the crush. Maybe I need to ask them to crush it a little more. It seems like all these kits, the 3 that I've done have come from Austin Homebrew. I don't know if they're not crushed them good enough. I don't know. Suggestions, lay them on me. It's like I say, it's not bad off, but I want to get it right in line. So, and the old batteries died on the camera. But anyway, as I was saying, the boil volumes I believe I've got nailed down. So if I can get my efficiency up there a little bit, I will be tickled to death. I hope this recipe turns out as good as Steel Jan's. I'm gonna try to make it better, girl. But anyway, like I say, I got everything cleaned up, and about a 5-hour brew day, so everything went smooth. No big hitches or anything. It's kind of scary. It's gotten to where it's kind of I don't know, it goes real fast, but I guess I'm just getting used to it. But anyway, if you can give me any suggestions on my efficiency, they'll be much appreciated. And I guess I'm gonna go pitch some yeast and eat some lunch and spend some time with my grandson, and may do another 2-gallon batch here before long, brewing the bag on the stove. So appreciate you. Comment, subscribe, all that stuff you know you're supposed to do. I don't ask for it a lot because I really don't care. I mean, I hope you subscribe. I know I'm getting a lot of subscribers. I haven't even looked to see how many I do have, but I do appreciate it. Later.